Hi everyone. So as I'd said a wee while ago, I was going to film some EFT tapping videos specifically about grounding. So I'd asked what people wanted the most. It was a while back. I asked for people to vote, but not many people ever vote. So thank you if you did vote. But yeah, the one that for whoever did vote, however many people, it was the grounding one, and that was the one that I sensed people were going to be needing. So I've just handpicked a few of the ones that I feel are grounding. You know, just ones that literally say grounding, or there was ones about financial stuff at like because that's the root chakra, which is really. I mean, this is what I mean. It never fails to bore me or amaze me how synchronistic and serendipitous my guides are, right? But that is why I'm wearing a red jumper. And I so was not conscious of that whatsoever when I put this on today. It's actually quite annoying. It's nice if it stayed like this. I really like it, but it's a really annoying jumper because it's like it keeps creeping up like that. I remember why this is why I don't really wear it very often. But anyway, they obviously wanted to bring in the energy of the root chakra. And by the way, welcome if you're new. My name's Claire, not Crystal. Everything I do is channeling, clearing, healing energy. But for this one, this is specifically now I weave like prayers and shamanic clearing, healing, light code activations. I'm a Reiki master too, but I don't tend to mention the Reiki master bit too much because, I've always more resonated with the shamanic part of me. So, and like I always say, like, Reiki is great if you resonate with it. And it's, because it's more gentler. And like I would say, for instance, when it's children that are receiving healing, it's Reiki that's a wee bit more gentler, but it's shamanic healing that I do, so it's like I pull out the heaviness and I'm channeling in that unconditional love. But anyway, it's like a mix of all the different things that I do. So that's just for the people that are new. So, but obviously this is a unique one because it is the EFT tapping. Now, EFT tapping alone, when you're tapping on the meridian points, is so powerful. Whether you want to tap along to my stuff or whether you want to watch any of the tons of other people doing stuff like that online, it's really, really powerful. So don't think it's like, not going to move energy because it does. And like I said, I personally just love it. This isn't new, by the way. Like I've done this for years. It's just I tend to just do it with clients. But yeah, no, if there's quite a few shorts now there that I've done another month. I had hoped to have like more for while I'm away, and you never know. Like I've said, I've set myself a deadline today that whatever I've got done by 8 o'clock, it's just that's what I've got done, and I need to stop because otherwise I'm it's like completely not to stop. So it's so yeah, if you're wondering what I'm on about at the time, because again, I won't talk too much in this one because I want this to be on the schedule for people. So I want this to be on the playlist, a grounding playlist. But it's yeah. At the time of filming this, I'm going to be taking a few weeks off to myself. So I'm just stressing the importance of boundaries. Work balance boundaries because it's just absolutely hilarious. I'm going to put in the community tab when I'm finished all of this. I'm going to post something. I just want to post something to give people a chance to let them know. Like, look, if anyone does need to email me about anything, do it now because after that I'm cutting off. I'm not getting back to emails until I'm back to work. So because at the end of the day, and this is relevant, this wee chat is everything relevant. This is relevant to what I teach people. The last thing I would want is people to become codependent on me because over the 10 years of doing this, I've noticed when people have became too dependent on me, basically, for the from me watching it, it's just something that it's just something that happens, and it's but so basically I can that's you've got to take personal responsibility for your own, and the thing is, and that is why it can be sad, but that is why I have periods of time where some people are just like very here and like I can think of loads of people over the years where it'd be like comment on everything, every live stream, everything I do, they're there, and then it's like people disappear for like years on end. Sometimes it's a year, sometimes people come back, sometimes they don't. But I don't always although I miss people, I don't always necessarily see it as a bad thing because I can always tell when it's like it's becoming too dependent and it's too You know what I mean? So it's actually, you know, it's, oh, that's so sad, but it is. It's like, it's when people, I'm saying it's sad because I filmed the shorts, you know, inspired by one of my best friends that's going through a family loss. And it had a caterpillar and a butterfly, and you know, this, what I'm speaking about right now, is very much like that. You know, it's like people going from that stage of growing, go into a butterfly, and flying off. They're pulling me the blue butterfly thing that I've got on my wall when I'm saying this, and it's just even more beautiful than that. It's actually my friend loves the blue butterflies. Yeah, I know a lot of yous do, but it's symbolic for all of us in some sort of way, you know. But anyway, the point of me saying that was, anybody that it might make people feel a wee bit anxious, or like, oh, you know what I mean, like Claire's not going to be doing the live streams, because think about it, like there was, if you're new, like if you've only started following me like very recently this year, or even sometime last year, you might not realize that it's like, it's actually quite normal this time of year. Like it would actually only be hand videos that you see until sometimes even the spring. So it's, you know, although live stream is what people by a long shot prefer, and I love it too when I've got energy, it's just I don't like the winter time, so I haven't always got loads of energy. So I don't know that I will actually be going back to the Zodiac ones like as intensely as I was, and you know, I'll need to check in and see whether maybe for like December, maybe, like, you know, okay. But anyway, we'll just see. But the point is yeah, it's like I said, it might be a bit morbid, but Mercury in Scorpio, you know, that is about death and rebirth, but it's about the fact that, like, you know, none of us know how long any of us are going to be here. Like, I always used to use the very blunt example of, like, what if I went out and got hit by a bus? Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't be having folk that are, like, hanging, waiting around for me to show up to come, you know what I mean? Because it's not me anyway. It's like, I honour the fact that I've, you know, put all this effort, daily effort, and years and decades of self-healing and healing myself and all that and stuff. It's like, you know, to be the person that I am, but I am a divine channel to deliver the divine messages. And but yes, if you're meant to get a message from the divine, I trust that my other fellow divine channelers and whatever anybody else calls themselves out there, I just pray that all of my soul family find people that are genuine, that you'll discover a message coming through someday, that you just, people that you watch all the time anyway, or you might find somebody new, you know, somebody new in your path is like, oh, and then, you know, and then I'll pop up when I'm back, when I've got the energy. So I thought, yeah, it might be on the actual, oh no, I don't think it's going to be. I plan to come back on the 11/11 portal, but actually I'm going to do a distance healing. So I won't talk about that just now because that'll be past when you're watching this. But if it's kind of recent, you're watching it when I put it out, I'm doing an 11/11 distance healing, because I always used to do that every year on the 11/11 portal. Can't remember if I've done it last year or not, but I've been strongly guided because of what I keep saying about the beaver moon on the 5th November this year feels very significant for union energy. And I was actually channeled that 6 years ago. So I'm like, I feel like it is this beaver moon for a lot of people. But like, and what I mean by that is you'll just feel a stronger union within yourself, or for some people it could be about actual literal unions, but just completely let go of that anyway, because I'm already, like, I have been for quite some time, but I feel very at peace with myself, you know, and I've been in inner union for quite a few years now, but like I feel yeah, just very, very peaceful, and that's with the sun in my 12th house, which can make us more tired. So anyway, not going to chat for much longer than that, except they want me to show you the cards. It's because I'll show you the cards I pulled for myself. So just to give you a bit of background, right, because the thing is, the people that, this is funny, because I spoke about patience on one of the shorts, the people that haven't got patience for this bit, like, you know, I'm not going to be blunt, but if you're new, I don't know that I am the person, you know, whatever words you want, you know, the shaman to tune into, because I am a storyteller shaman, and it's like true stories about it, but it's kind of like it's always the wee stories of what I've went through, or what, you know, anonymously I'm helping a client with, or things that flash back to the past or future, obviously with the name of the channel. So it's all relevant, but that you can just, if you're watching these again and again for the grounding things, just obviously, you know, fast forward this bit. But so just to give you some context, now I don't go into detail about the things I'm doing for myself because it's not wise with the lurking haters that I've got. But just generally, like I am, you know, doing a lot of soul retrieval healing on myself, and then, you know, it's we can't, basically the point is we can't do all that healing for ourselves. We have to seek that healing from others as well that we trust. So it was like I was just asking something about this, and I found it hilarious that the first card that came out was balance, right? But not only that, we're in Libra season as I'm filming this, and Libra season is about balance and justice and love, peace, and harmony and union when it comes to twin flames, union when it comes to anyone. But it's also like imbalance, it's also injustice. It can also be like, you know, the breakdown of unions. It can, you know, it's so what always fascinates me is Libra shows you where you're out of balance as well. And now, definitely this time of year, like before I really focused in on my own chart as intensely as what I do, I was always ill, like always, without fail, on the new moon in Scorpio, new moon in Libra, and new moon in Scorpio, which are the next one. Like I was always ill. And like, you know, and in some friends like that, I've got birthdays that time of year. Sometimes I've even had to miss friends' birthdays. So, and it was because it's real. You know, you should pay attention to your charts. And if you want me to help with that, I can do that when I'm back. That's my psychic astrology empowerment reading. Or if you don't want that, I can have a quick glance in a session. But just know that psychic astrology empowerment reading is a whole big session itself, and it's because it takes so long. I usually, well, we can do it in one big sitting because believe me, people know that I can if you've had a session, or we can split up in different sessions, but it is an investment. So rather than looking at it as a session, look at it as a package, because it is a once in a lifetime experience. 144. That is not a mere astrology reading. I don't like anybody referring to what I do as a reading, because it is healing more than anything. Yes, I'm reading the energy, but it's past, present, and future. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, but yeah, that is like huge. Like basically, whenever anybody's had that, it like opens up huge things in their life, spiritual catalyst for loads of different things. And you know, it's like, so they're getting me to say that one of the last sessions I had, the person basically mentioned, this is anonymous, but someone had basically mentioned that it was like the insights that I got from the chart were like nothing they'd ever had from anyone else that had looked at their chart. And that's because my mediumship comes in. You know what I mean? Like I'm channeling. Not all astrology or astrologers are channeling it. And that is the difference. It's like, and that's what's different about me is like, yes, I know a lot about astrology, but I'm channeling my past life gift as an astrologer, being deadly serious when I say that. And I kind of like it that way, you know, that it's quite random with it. A lot of the time I wouldn't have actually been aware of the different aspects, and then I check after and it's lining up with what I've said. And anyway, so that's but we'll get on with this, right? Everyone knows that it's here all the time, but just for people that are new. So just to know it as an experience, my psychic astrology empowerment, once in a lifetime experience. I'll put the review below, some of my favourite ones, because I'm saying that. And my chakra soul empowerment, that's another one where I go through your chakras in depth and with the cards, and it always, you know, it'll tell you what you already know what's going on with it, but it validates what you're feeling. And a lot of people do need that, because if you're not trusting yourself and all that kind of stuff, just as I was asking a card about something, I already felt the answer to it and I knew what I needed to do, which is basically about me getting healing myself, right? And it's like, and I'm very particular about that. And it's kind of like, I was like, and it was just, I laughed when I pulled that out, because like, so that's basically what I'm saying as well. Like after Monday, I would be in my own healing space even more. And like I keep saying to everyone, the way that I'm seeing this period of time is the 10-10 portal. I definitely felt that about, but because I was being drawn, they were pulling me at 10. They're talking about October, but basically, like for a lot of twin flames, if you're in the same space as me, the way that I feel a lot of us are feeling, or you're either being guided to spend as much time as you can alone, where it will allow, you know, those of you that got family and whatever and responsibilities, or with your twin flame. So I'm in the exact same place. Like I am not physically with my twin flame, so I want to spend as much of my time alone. But it doesn't mean I'm not seeing anyone, because my family have just got back from holiday. I can say that now because they're back. But like, you know, my family have just got 144. My family have just got back from holiday, so obviously I will be seeing them because I've got time off. And you know, I've just caught with one of my best friends. I'm seeing my best friends since I was like wee, like next week. You know what I mean? I've got nice things like that planned, but for the most part, I'm resting. I'm eating all my favourite food. I'm just letting my shadow have fun. Like last night, I had one of my favourite teas. You know what I mean? I'm doing nice stuff for myself, but I'm also going to be doing my own deep shadow work integration, and that's what one of these cards. So it's just basically the cards answered exactly what I knew. So it's quite interesting. So balance. Take time to relax. Indulge a little more or less. And this is what people are going to find hilarious. The word, and I was like, because I haven't used these. Oh, and also I've just realised it's not horses, it's unicorns, but you know, variation of a horse. And I keep mentioning this, but the last two Zooms I had, the horse spirit and the lion spirit featured very heavily. Okay, so obviously, if those people watch this, you'll know who you are. Otherwise, it's anonymous. But I'm seeing horses and lions for everyone, because obviously that was the frequency of the people I was attracting. These things are going to resonate with. I'm seeing horses and lions everywhere, basically. So if any of them are, I don't know if any of these people will watch these, but so you can just kind of quietly keep that to yourself. You know what I mean, when you're watching, or you know, but yeah, I haven't used these cards for ages. I couldn't find them, and actually, one of them's even in my room because I remember I liked it for my vision board, the wording of it. That'll probably fall off now or something. I've said that, but listen to this: set boundaries with your work. I know, guys. I know. I don't even need anybody to give me a wee row or to say anything. I can feel it. I am witnessing, observing it in myself. But it's no secret. I don't make a secret about it. I fucking love my work. I live for this shit. I love it. And I'm meant to. When I just said I live for it, that is not a mistake. And nothing ever is when I'm doing this. My soul, my Aries soul, sits in the house of Virgo, the sixth house, of your everyday, note the everyday bit, routine, ritual, well-being, health, healing, right? So I'm literally meant to be a public face that is there every day, showing up. And I am. And the thing is, no matter what I get filmed in the time, which is now chipping away because of how long this is, this actually, I think this will be a standalone video, because this is a bit too, well, I don't know, I'll just see about it, but this is a bit of a big chat for before the shorts thing, before the EFT, but yes, I lost my train of thought because I started saying that. Where was I going with that? Yeah, just basically something about it's, you know, I'm meant to be that way, but that's what I'm saying. Whatever I don't get done, it's not a big deal. It will annoy me. I'm not going to lie. It'll annoy me because I'm like, you know what I mean? It will, you know, and I'm just going to have to sit with that and accept it. And it's a lesson, you know. So it's like how some of you just have to accept, look, you've got what you've got done. Be at peace now. You know, it's good enough. You're good enough. It's good enough. Because that's Virgo's a perfectionist too, you see. But what I teach people is I'm a weird mix of raw and real, and you know, the healing, because that's why, if you've never done my challenge, it's called Fuck It, Let's Go, hashtag messy action, because if you keep sort of stalling and procrastinating and delaying until you feel good enough, that day might never come. And I know, because although for the most part I do have an idea, I write it down, and then I start to bring it together and I put it out there. For years, like some of the things that I have eventually put out there, I had the idea years ago, and then I waited ages to put it out, and then, you know, and then I've had other horrible experiences where I've had like really good ideas, and then I've put them out there, and people have like lifted stuff, you know, they've been inspired, but you know what I mean. I've had, look, I'm not going to go too deep into that, but it's definitely because the sun's in my 12th house. So, you know, annoying things like that, you know, being a Scorpio rising, one does not appreciate that, because it's more my moon conjuncts Uranus, so I'm all about being different and unique, and I can't stand when people copy others in general, but I'm not going to take too kindly when people do that to my unique stuff as well. But anyway, the point is, I've done shorts for up until I'm away, and then I'm going to do a few more because I've added a bit more time on, and that's enough. So some of the days, you know, leading up to when I'm coming back, just know it might just be a shorts, it might not be a video. But I think what I'll just do is I'll share old videos, unlisted ones, because I've got loads of them that I've never put out. And if I can be bothered, if I don't, I don't. Yeah, but we'll just see. Well, I've got a few hours to get stuff done. but yeah, set boundaries of your work. I couldn't believe it. I was laughing, right? I was like, wow, because I know that's where I need the outside help, and I, like I said, I know if someone I've had help from, like I said, I just don't. Anyway, I'm not. It's not wise for me to, like, because I know that a lot of you that do work with me, that's why all my reviews are anonymous. If now and again somebody leaves a comment and you know who it is, or you're saying in the live chat, that's up to you. But for the most part, like, I do get it. It's wise to, especially if you do work in the public, you won't need me to say, if you do work that, like, keep that out yourself. And if for any reason anyone, I'm getting a bit of a head, someone's got a headache. If for any reason someone's watching this and you do work on either YouTube or any other multitude of different platforms, and you feel led to me, just know that um, I will always keep people's confidentiality, because I'm a therapist, I'm a counsellor at the end of the day, and I do get it. It's so I'm just saying that because I do attract other healers and mediums and teachers and mentors and shamans and stuff like that. And I know that's not going to be loads of people, but it is a few people watching. So if anybody does feel led to it, or if you've been to me before and it's time for another one, but yeah. So anyway, but it's more, I'm in need of, like, physical, well, that too, but physical touch, like a massage, so a few bits and bobs, self-care things, after my shadows, because I'm only allowing myself to eat all the foods that aren't good for me and that until the new moon, and then after the new moon I'm going to be more healthy eating. I can have a wee bit of chocolate here and there, but I'm going to be quite focused on that energy. But anyway, so it's balance. Set boundaries with your work. I just couldn't believe like, it's just so on point. The wording's just so on point. Then, right, even more so, polarity. But they're also telling you something. When I send that healing on the 1111 portal, it's always for balancing your feminine, masculine energy, because I'm a twin flame shaman. Everything is about that. The whole 10 years, nearly 11 years, finally, I'll be able to say 11 years next year that I've been doing this. It's always been about that, right? Integrate your shadow side. That is why it's important. You have to go. I don't care what anybody says, you have to get outside help. You cannot integrate your shadow yourself. So please take that on board, whoever you are out there. If you have done all your shadow work and like, you're not going to get a fucking medal because you've done all your I've done a lot of self-healing. I was even told once by a medium, there's very few people that you could get guidance from, like, just go directly to God. That's true for the most part, but I'm going to be humble enough to say I have beautiful people that I'm led to when I need a message. It's not all the time anymore, but it's kind of like, I'm more about, if I feel someone's got genuine energy, I love people to pray for me, like I pray for others. And, I feel that's more powerful than the message, but everybody loves getting a wee message. But I'm kind of that opinion of what I say to you guys all the time too. You just never know when any of this is going to manifest, so you have to let it go. And especially those of you that are hanging on to every word anyone says, whether it's me or anyone else, switch off. Seriously, switch off. Like, I know, but some of you might not be able to do it, but do, because it's you get stuck in a cycle, and I can help you with that, because, like I said, I've been stuck in that cycle too. So, but I'm really happy that I'm not now. You know what I mean? So, integrate your shadow side. There can be no light without dark. Understand the law of polarity. So that, like I said, that's definitely the shadow stuff for me is like what I'm saying. I'm allowing my healed shadow to have a wee binge and allow my inner child to, just eat the things that aren't good for me as an adult. My adult self being like, well, you shouldn't really eat that. If you want to lose weight, it's not really going to work. But it's kind of like, you know what, for a wee bit, fight. I know what I'm like. I know myself very well. Like, I know myself very, very well. That's the one thing that people that know me well comment on as well. Your self-awareness is really high. It can intimidate people how self-aware I am. But it's like, I'll get bored of it. I'll just eat crap and that, and I'll get bored of it. I'll eat crap and watch The Office, because I've got back at, like, Prime wasn't working, it's working again. And oh my god, it's just so funny. I'm sad I didn't give it a chance until lately. This is going to be a channel message. I'm sad I didn't give it a chance until lately, but it was right when I needed it, because now I'm excited. I'm excited for when I finish watching all the series and I can watch it again, because it's like Friends, It's like most people that love Friends, you've seen all the episodes, I can quote it word for word and all that, but you never get bored of it, although I did get a bit bored. But it was kind of like, that's one of them, like, because I don't know all the, like, it's just so funny. And I hope if my dad lurks on this, he gives it a go, because he was almost getting too serious. We weren't arguing, but he was like, no, because he loved the UK version. I was like, Dad, you do realise it's the same producers? And he was thinking I was making it up. So, he'll do a secret Google after we've... But yes, if he's thinking it again, honestly, he'll be watching that on the sly. Trust me, he will. But I think he will give it a go. But anyway, they might never tell me Scorpios and all that. But so, lastly, miracles. And what I always say, when you clear the trauma, when you hold space for whether you're doing your own shadow work, because you don't need to always go to a healer. You don't need to go to the same healer either, by the way. You don't even need to always go online or in person. Because like I said, it's fine, you know what I mean? It's like I am needing like in person, like I'm saying, I'm needing that physical contact, I'm needing like someone to listen. I'm needing all of that in person. So that's what I'm answering the call of my soul there. But it's and I understand if some of you's like that too, but it's kind of like listen to what it is you need, and you can't do it all by yourself, basically. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's a wee reminder, if people do resonate with me and you haven't had a session, check in. Has it been 3 months since you had a session? Because if you've started doing soul retrieval with a shaman and it's been more than 3 months, I would think about booking a session, for when I'm back, or at least before the year ends. But again, personal responsibility, and you're going to do what you're going to do. But I'm just getting that across, that I do feel I'm taking these 3 weeks to myself. And remember, it was meant to be I was coming back on the 4th, and they've guided me to extend it to the 11th. And it's funny, I didn't mean that. They're saying the 11 portal, but it's because it's eaten into this week, so it makes sense. So but I'm going to be busy, I can just tell, because the sun will be in my first house. I'll be in fierce energy. I think it'll be some dark stuff. I'm clean from people, like the darkest stuff, because some of the people I've had towards the end of finishing up anyway, it was stuff like that. So I do feel, it's always heavy. Basically, it's always shadow integration I'm doing with people. Not always. Sometimes it's like people helping people in their business, and it's more you've went through that. But a lot of the time it is, getting you to face the parts of yourself that you maybe run from, or denial in that. I'm always helping people with these kind of things. But yeah, once you do that, whether it's a bit of yourself and a bit with other people, and I'm honoured and humbled if it's me for some of it, then the miracles can come about, right? Miracles. Have faith that your miracle is on its way. We've always got to have faith. Your prayers have been answered. Surrender the how. Bear in mind, I was asking for my celebrates. I was like, all right, okay, I know what I need to do. But so basically, even if I wasn't listening to the other stuff I need to do, look, take time off to see to my own energy, my own feminine and masculine energy, because it's my feminine that's like, I've been really working hard. I'm always in my feminine energy, but in a way I'm always in that, we're always both masculine and feminine, but as a divine feminine that puts out so much all the time, and because I'm an Aries with a Sag rune, that's a lot of masculine energy. I'm very aware. It's like, right, I need to totally switch off. And also, if you're not switching off, and you're not like, if I'm like a doctor on call, or a shaman doctor on call, that was what, so I'm going to have to put these reviews below. Well, I'm not, it can be like that. I can see, I can't even say I'm not. It can be a little bit like being a doctor on call, but there's not really a need for it, right? And I know that my guides will oversee people, power animals, and more importantly, your guides and power animals. And, I literally pray for people every day. But, I pray a little harder for people in the membership, not going to lie, because you are, you're giving in that way, and it's energy exchange. But I pray for everyone in the channel every day. Like, it's part of my daily routine, as I was talking about the Virgo energy. Yeah, anyway, so I wanted to share them, because what one will I think I want to put them all in this is just going to be a standalone video, but it's, I know that'll be what people needed to hear. So basically just take that on board, that where do you need to balance your energy, your feminine, masculine, or where are you out of balance? If you do a lot for others every day, or whenever you do it, if you've got social media and you're not posting videos every day, or you're not doing live or whatever it is you do, then you're still being of service, which is Virgo energy too, and you still deserve a rest, a holiday, even if you're not going anywhere, because that's what, you know, I'm seeing if I can go and visit some of my family, even just for a weekend or something over some of the time. It's, you know, I'm going to do something, because it's like, but at the same time, I might not if I get, you know what I mean? I'm just still trying to make my mind up about that. But it's like, or maybe just book something for further in the future so that I've got something to look forward to. But it's, especially because my whole family's just been on holiday. And I was like, I went along to like give put like, you know, milk and like bread and stuff, and wee treats, which was really funny actually. The treats that I left, it was dark chocolate tea cakes. And I only realised when I saw them for myself, and I thought, oh, my dad will like them. My mum too, but I was like, wow, that's because it's my grandma's birthday today, and that my grandma loved tea cakes. You know, just obviously these dark ones are new, but it was like, you know, that was definitely my grandma's wee influence here. That's just every time I mention, like when I spoke about my dad, I've got to pull my dad. When I was reading about my grandma's pulling my eyes there. But you know what I mean? It's kind of like I caught them when they were just as they were like arriving, because I wanted to just leave the stuff and sort of get out, but because I'd be tired. And yeah, it's kind of like, you know, I said, oh yeah, thanks for your, it wasn't daily, but I was like, thanks for your updates. Or, you know, like sunning your cell and you're swimming, you know what I mean? My mum cutting them out in her fancy, so it was actually my mum's swimming costume was quite, I was like, oh, that's very nice, wasn't it? It was like a sparkly kind of brown number. And then my sister's was nice too, and the kids, and it's just kind of like, you know what I mean? I'm like, right, I've not been on a plane in a few years, and my passport was out of date, but I think I can risk it. I'm going to need to be sorting something, because it's kind of like I can feel the need for a break. But anyway, however this served you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one of these. I can't. These are the ones I want to do for what the. No, that's what I'll do. That makes sense. So these were the ones I had hoped there was going to be a face-to-face video for you while I was off. Again, there might be some short ones. I think, that's what I'll do. I'll do them as shorts, yeah. But there was going to be longer ones. But because I've been talking about the shadow and the light, let's get a shadow and the light card. Because that's what Libra season is to me, it's duality. I always see Libra a bit like Gemini. They're both signs of duality, shadow and light, just like that card. And but yeah, where do you need to do some shadow work or integrate your shadow? Because you're going to get sick of me hearing me talk about that. So, well, that's what, I talk about this every day. But it's like in Scorpio season, so from the 23rd to the 21st of November, that is all about the shadow, you know. So deep emotional healing. So even if you've done tons of shadow work, shadow integration, there's always going to be a little bit of something, you know, that you should be digging deep for, because that's the opportunity for that month. And then we get to play in Sagittarius season. That's how I look at it. Right, what's a card to end this wee healing shamanic chat? Reading, if you want to call it a read. 33 minutes come to Jesus moment. Wow. Vulnerability and empathy. And on the back, we've got behaviour and interpretation. It's also a 16. So yesterday was a 16, so you could have been having some tower moments going on. You know, it's really quite interesting, because again, not going into too much in my stuff, because I fucking do that all the time, but it's like, and that's me. Oh yeah, that's why they're saying that. That's me. Don't try to be like me, because you're not me, right? If you're kind of like, oh, I couldn't be that honest, or that, you don't need to be. You're not me. I was born on the 18th of April. I'm a raw and real Aries. Do you know what I mean? Even if you're an Aries, you might not be. I know some Aries that aren't that raw and real, because they've got earth sign other things in their big three. But this is what I was here to do, because I'm an Aries with Venus in Aries, and it doesn't bother me. And it's not, believe me, it's not my ADHD and saying things about it. It's like, no, I open up the space in the same way I do anything. My guides and God always protect me. And it's, yeah, you know what I mean? It's my thing. So, you know, find your thing. And I can help you find your, my gift is help you find yours. If you need help finding it, maybe you found it. But anyway, vulnerability. Because remember, that's, you know, if you see my background, which I literally made that up. It wasn't even, I don't know if it was Canva. I don't know if Canva was out. Whatever it was, maybe it was Canva. I made that almost 10 years ago now, and I just plonked it on my YouTube background and my Facebook and Instagram. No, not Instagram, because it's, I don't think you have backgrounds that, but whatever, it's my Facebook, and that, because that's my favourite colours, is electric blue with the gold. And then the background and everything with the modern mystic and the vulnerability and the keywords, the vulnerability, whatever else it is. And I've not changed it, basically. Like, it's still sitting there in my abandoned Facebook page, and it's still sitting there, which I still, I still protect energetically, but I haven't logged into that page. So I'm just going to stress that if you ever get anybody message, that ain't me. So don't, whether it's my name or a page, that's not me. Because that was sometime last year, someone was doing that. So, which I was surprised, because I was like, oh my God, I've made it. That's when you've, when you've got an impersonate, that's when you've made it. But it's just, saddles. But yeah, anyway, at some point I will go, but I don't want to. I don't like that. I've got no desire to do that. I might pick it up. I might pick it up there at some point, but from what I hear, I don't like it. Yeah, that's been. I think I logged out of that because I didn't delete it, but I think because it's still there, but I think I logged out of that 2021. I think it was actually 4 years ago next month. I'm sure it was November 2021 because I left it on a very dramatic live. It was like, don't let the ruins of your past ruin your future. Somebody needed to hear that. Don't let the ruins of your past ruin your future. And that's not mine. It was on one of the cards. I can't remember what, or it was in one of the guidebooks. I don't know, but it was. I can't even remember what one it is now. But I just remember I left it on that note. So, vulnerability and empathy. So the 9th of November might be a significant date for somebody watching this. So let's read this, and then I better crack on and get whatever it is I'm going to get done before I wrap up. And so I'm making, yes, I'm making, I'm kind of thinking, like, is that true? I'm making that promise to you now that I am not going to, from this point on, I'm not going to film any more face-to-face big videos like this until I come back after the 11/11 portal. And I don't think I mention it in this, because I was going to, and then I wasn't going to, because I was going to do the thing that I'm not doing now. Yeah, I'm sending out 11/11 distant healing, 11/11 at night my time, on the 11/11 portal, and so I don't know if sorry if I already said this, but yeah, when I used to do that, I think it was once a week, or was it once a fortnight, I used to do that via my, well, it was just energy, but like on Facebook I would post about it, and trust me, the most amazing things happened. Like, people would be like, well, people were always saying, even when I wasn't, just because I keep feeling my prayer, oh, you were in my dream and you were helping me with this, or you were pulling me out of a dark hole, or you were, help me escape from, like, whatever, what I mean. And it was but one of the things that really always stuck in my mind was, I always used to say, like, if you can ask for healing for other people, just ask for their higher self's permission, and I'll do that when I'm sending the healing. And if they don't want it for any reason, they'll reject it. But it's always the ego that rejects healing. It's not the soul. Like, that's the same with, like, your twin flame as well. Like, yeah, their ego might be like, well, I don't need your help, I don't need the healing, all that. But it's like, the soul, it's your souls are connected if it's your true twin flame. So always pray for them. You know what I mean? You don't need to overly send healing, but because you will at some point, and then we've all got to heal thyself. We've all got to heal ourselves. You can't take personal responsibility for someone else's journey or healing, your twin flame. But you can pray for them. I would advise you to, because you're connected. You can pray for anyone. Yeah, I pray for it. Like I say, I pray for my enemies, and I always say this, but I don't consider people enemies. But there's obviously, like, energies where you're like, I don't want anything to do with that person, and I know that they don't really care for me, or they even hate me. So, you know what I mean? It's like, I always pray for those people as well, whoever they might be, the people that I know and the people I don't know. But yes, it was, somebody had asked for healing for her husband, who I can't remember what his illness, like an ongoing chronic illness, is, but all I know is it did involve him not being very mobile. And after I'd sent this distant healing, which I never do for long, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, sometimes it might be longer, but usually 30, 40 minutes. And, well, honestly, the next day, this woman was putting comments on, and, she might still watch, I don't know, but it was on Facebook, about how like she'd asked for the healing for her husband. And by the way, you know, like what I used to say to people was, I was like, and so I'm saying the same thing for this healing. You don't even need to tell me what you want the healing for. Like your guides know, my guides know that you can tell me if you want. Like I've put the instructions on the post. And so she just said, I said, I used to say, oh, you can just say, can I ask for healing for someone else? And they know who the someone else is. Because at the time I wasn't saying it was a twin flame healer, so a lot of people, someone else would have been like their twin flame. But you know, in this case, it was. So anyway, long story short, well, he was like up and about, moving in that next day, and I think this guy had either severe back pain. I think it was something stronger than that though. I think it was like chronic pain where, you know, he didn't have a lot of mobility, and it's, so again, be open to the miracles, and that is the power of praying for other people. So yeah, if you want to sign up for that, like I said, the details are there, and so just follow the what's there, and but yeah, like I said, please don't ask any questions or anything, or like, you know, is that all okay, you know, like, you know, basically don't look for validation that it's, if you've paid through PayPal, I'll see, and those people will go on the list. And if you pay via YouTube, like, and you know, you could even, on this video, if you want to do it, you could even do it on this. There will be the dollar sign. Just make sure if it's dollars, it's 14. Oh, wait a minute, that's not going to work. I've just realised. I'll give allowances to that. Here, I'm going to pause and experiment. Right, because I'm UK money, the most closest amount it goes to is £9.99. So, you know, pick that if you're in the UK and you want to use that option. Or, but what I would say is, karma wise, if you've got PayPal, I'd prefer you to use PayPal, just so it keeps it fair, right? And but I know that some people, like, there's a few people I know that just because PayPal isn't a bit, like I said, it's, I've just used that the whole time. And look, guys, Big Brother's watching you, and everything is my, you know, kind of perspective on it. So, but I know, you know, there's a few people, you know, that it's like, I looked into things like Stripe and all that, and none of it was, it was just too, it wasn't as intuitive to use. So, but yeah, for anyone that might want to be involved in this, then you know, you can use that thing. And so just common sense, like, just go as close to, Google whatever £11.11 is in UK money, and then whatever yours is, and then just, because it only does the sliding scale, so I get the sliding scale. So I don't know, I'd imagine that would be, maybe it'll let you do like $14.99 or something. I don't know. I'm bad at, like I said, I'm bad at working out what it all means and stuff. But anyway, I can't admit that's not going to be too many people anyway, but I just know it might be a few. And but yeah, because sometimes there's always confusion about that. But I realised, like, that was my, see, again, I'm not an Aries that's afraid to admit I'm wrong. That was my mistake sometimes, when it's like, you know, like, you can't just use that dollar thing on these videos for like specific amounts. It rounds it off. So, but anyway, you know, blah blah blah, all that jazz. And you do feel it, but I'm not in the business of convincing people. I've put a few of the reviews from past things that I've done like that, and it's the specific light code activations that are coming in for twin flames. If you're called to it, you'll be called to it. So trust it. And you don't need to be close to a union or anything, although I do feel it's really going to benefit people that are close to union, because look, the necklace I'm wearing today too is like an infinity. It's 2 wee interlock circles, but it is like an infinity. But even interlock circles can be like, you know, twin flames kind of. But yeah, some of you need it for your inner union before coming into union. So everyone's at different places. But I'm going to oh look, and it's the last goodbye. It's not the last goodbye, it's the last goodbye until I return on the 11/11 portal in some sort of way or form. I'm returning distantly if you sign up to the distant healing, and I will probably I'd imagine I'll probably show up, like, yeah, that week some point. I don't know what day. I'll look at the moons. In fact, let's just do it now. Let's look and see if I am. Oh, what? Oh my God. wait a minute, the 11, oh my god, that is right. This reminds me of something someone had said to me once when receiving healing from me. Never lose that magic, never lose that inner child magic. And what this beautiful soul meant was, whenever people feel my healing, right, both distantly or in person, they report wanting to just laugh and like feel like giggly for no reason. And even if you've not got a lot going on in your life, that makes sense. Like that was one woman's review once said something like that. And that's because that's my energy. You think how much I giggle and laugh all the time. And I'm a Sag woman, that is about laughter and everything. But it's that's like my signature, energy. It's like people just feel joy. It's like joy from inside out. I love Inside Out, and oh my god, we're going into the big story time here. That's why I'm going with it. That was my counselling supervisor when I was a counsellor in a primary school. I absolutely loved that job. Well, it wasn't paid, but it was a student counsellor before I was kicked out of uni on this day. Was it 8 years ago? Was it 8 years ago? I think it was 8. I think it was 8 years ago. Yeah, she had said I hadn't saw the film, and she was like, "Have you ever seen that?" I was like, "No, I really want it, but I haven't seen it." And she was like, "You remind me of Joy." And she was totally my cup of tea because, where was she from? Was it Italy or I don't know? I don't think it was Italy. It was something, but English wasn't her first language, and she had that kind of a bit of a fierce. I think she might have been a Scorpio rising. I never looked at her chart, but long story short, she said, "You remind me of Joy from Inside Out." And I said, "Oh, right, yeah, because there's the joy, it's the anger, the sadness." So I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, thanks, you know what I mean?" And then she was like, "But when you see it, that's not always a good thing." I was like, "All right, fine." But the thing is, bear in mind, this was prior to me. So after I had been, it's brutal to say it like that, but that is what happened. I've told the story in the shorts. They told me, take the next 3 months over the summer to heal, because we understand you went through a lot, and a lot from our fault as well. And then don't rush. Get those essays done with the support when you come back in October. And then October came, 17th of October, my grandma's birthday, and yeah, it was like, you've not done it was a brutal electronic thing that was like, you've not done the work in the required time. We've given you the extra time, you've not done it. Fucking, you're out. They just want me out because I spoke up too much. Spoke up too much for myself about what wasn't being done. Spoke up too much for other people needs about what wasn't being done the whole time I was there. They want me out. You speak up too much, they want you out. And I think we can think of stronger things in the world where holistic doctors and stuff have shared their cures for cancer and all that, and the next thing you know, they're fucking missing. So so there's some things, I'm not joking when I say things about, like, you just never know how long, there's my Joan of Arc spirit coming in, but do remember the sun's in my 12th house, so I could be going a wee bit too into the and also Mercury and Scorpio as well, and it's like, you know what I mean, but you know what I'm saying, it's like, it is brave to talk about things in this world that is full of beautiful people, but it's also full of liars and people that hoodwink you, and not to mention 2020 when there was huge big lies and stuff being told, and you know what I mean. And anyway, we'll not go there, but I did kind of go there a little bit. But yeah, if you've not seen Inside Out, watch it, because I always said, I learned more from Inside. I was kind of half joking, more from Inside Out than I did from a lot of my counselling training. Because it's really deep, you know what I mean? Because and I actually need to watch that again. I need to watch, but it's like she's just always so happy with it, and that's not life. You know what I mean? Like, it's great if you can find the optimism and the joy even through the darkness. And I am somebody that I've got a dark sense of humor, and even when things are happening that's painful, I can always find the silver lining. I can always feel the blessing in disguise. There's a card like that actually I'm going to use in the set, but I've felt really moved, like when I watched that for the first time, and I think we can all take something from that. It's like, it's not, I don't like the word normal, but it's not normal, it's not natural to nobody is 100% a happy, joyful person like all the time. We all have moments of sadness, and that's okay. And that is what that beautiful scene, which now makes me really laugh because I know it's the woman that's in the office, because they kind of made her look like her, you know what I mean? But it's like, oh, you know, and it's like, but yeah, watch the American Office. I can't fucking speak about that highly enough. It's just, I just love it. It's so funny. But anyway, I'm going to read this. Otherwise, you're not going to get any extra videos. So, vulnerability, empathy. Empathy is the ability to truly feel and be with someone and their feelings. Oh, of course, it's going to talk. But just with me mentioning what my supervisor said at the time too, I think then I did watch it. And then I said to her, I was like, you know, thank you for saying that to me, because it was like, you know, remember, counsellors are all about constructive criticism as well. You got to be fucking careful with that. There's some shady fucks out there. Some people took advantage of that constructive, you know, and they go for the jugular, and that's a terrible thing to do when people are vulnerable and went through it. Because like I always say, some people be, oh, I've not had trauma, blah, blah, blah. Like, everybody's got trauma somewhere, and that's what you need to be mindful of with everyone. And you know, I've been on the receiving end of that many. Unfortunately, like I say all the time, I fucking attract shit like that all the time. Talk about shit. I attract that all the time. You know, the dark is attracted to the light, and my name means bright fucking light. So can you imagine? Anyway, moving on. But it's the thing is, people, you know, I don't think a lot of people count on I don't think people bank on the fact that, you know, I've got Pluto 0 degrees, retrograde, Scorpio, Pluto real Scorpio. Could you stop that? It's really fucking annoying. Someone's impatient out there, beating the horn. In the house of the hidden. So it's like, you know, I can handle a lot of pain. So if you want to do that, fine. You're going to accrue a lot of karma. And I'm one of God's messengers, divine helpers, helping a lot of people. And I just don't think God's going to like that very much if you throw your projections and your dark energy at me. But and take advantage of my kindness and all that kind of stuff, because it's not a weakness. My kindness is a strength, and my vulnerability. And I will, yes, stand by that until the day I die. Like, see, Joan of Arc is coming through really strong. Where's that date? But anyway, so, and anyway, and I'm saying that for anyone else where that might have happened to. Do you know what I mean? People like to tear down strong women, Aries women. And so I've had it from all angles, from all genders for a long time, because I've been out here in the public for 10 years. So, but that ain't gonna stop me, and it shouldn't stop you. So, to walk together with them on the dark road, oh, that was convenient. It is not standing beside and waving at them, but truly being there for them, to hold their hand and drown with them for a moment, to be able to feel their emotions. By understanding how they feel, you can help to pull them up to surface again. Wow, look at when I said people have said they've had dreams where I'm doing that. You know what I mean? Because the way I look at it, it's like, yeah, I might be putting my hands down to pull you up, but you've got to use your strength to get you out of that dark place. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a team. To be able to say I feel sorry with you instead of I feel sorry for you, let their feelings blossom in their darkness and let them spread out, and in that way that they can be freed of some of the pain. When we feel vulnerable, we let other people in. It's the way we can show them the dark path we're taking with all of its flaws and nastiness. We let them see the parts of us we've tried to hide deep under the surface. There's the shadow negation again. Therefore, empathy cannot exist without vulnerability. If you don't dare to show yourself and what you truly feel, it's almost impossible for others to understand you and show empathy towards others. So again, that is why can you see, for those of you, I know I don't even want to insult people's intelligence. Some people honestly have followed me for the whole 10 years and you feel like you know me inside out. But like I would say, get ready for a bit of sass from Mercury and Scorpio. You don't. I'm very, very deep soul, and there's a lot of things I'm very private about. But granted, if you've watched me for a long time, you will know my little quirks and traits. But again, you don't know all of me, especially if we've never had a live Zoom. And even if we have had a live Zoom, you know what I mean? It's like, if it's been ages again, I change that quickly. But the thing is it's that's why they do make me show my vulnerability a lot, because it's like people can overlook Aries vulnerability because we are so strong. So if you're an Aries woman or man, you'll know what I'm saying. We're so strong, and people like that is what, oh my god, you know what I mean? Talk about that. that is why it's important today on this, you know, on this day of the anniversary of that, because it's like that is what I experienced at uni. Was I was telling people how much I was struggling, and it just felt like nobody was listening. There's a theme of that today. It keeps reminding me of "We found love in a hopeless place," the speech that she gives at the start. Somebody must really resonate with that, like a few of you, because I keep saying things that remind me of that. But yeah, it did feel like I was screaming, nobody was listening. They just always saw how strong I was, which is, you know, that is a compliment as well. And it is the truth. I am very strong, but nobody is 100% all the time. I can handle stressful situations, but it's like, you know, it's nice for me to receive it. It's nice for somebody to give me a cuddle when I'm needing it. And like I said, that is my, well, one of my best friends I was with today, she's great for that too. But I was mindful of when she's going through a hard time, it's, you know, but it was like I said, that's what I'm saying is, that card that I pulled for today, that was crazy. That was exactly, I've already said that in this video. Sorry, my head's up my arse. I'm sorry not to, I mean, I'm showing you the vulnerability of that. That's why I'm not doing one-to-one sessions until the sun's out my to a house. But it's like, although it's good for, it is good for mediumship and stuff, but I need a rest. But it's like, yeah, because on the card it's a girl lying on the other one's lap. It's like, you know, at one point I was listening to my friend, and then before she left, it was definitely me, you know, quickly just sort of sharing some of the things, you know, and it's kind of, and that's what friendship is, you know what I mean? You're there for you. And me and my friend are there, you know, me and all the people I consider my best friends, which aren't too many, are like that with each other. I don't want any other kind of friendship, to be honest. Just like I'm a little bit all or nothing with love too. But anyway, back to this. So this card challenges you. So think about that. If they're saying that for you. If you're very strong as well, particularly if you're an Aries, but you don't need to be an Aries, whatever you are. If you are, people see you as being very strong, and you're the people that help everyone else. Maybe you need to sort of have a bit of a breakdown in front of the people that love you, so they can help you. Because some people just think you know, oh wow, they just reminded me of something from years ago. Obviously, it's anonymous, but there was a time in my life years ago when I was really upset about something. And because I am so strong, and because I was trying to detach from how painful it actually was, I had even hid how deep my pain was from one of my best friends at the time. And there was a moment where there was drink involved too, but long story short, it was like all of this emotion just was pouring out of me. And there was a few, there was my other friend that wasn't like part of my group was there. And I just remember my best friend I spent a lot of time with being like, I didn't realise you were that bothered by it, because you're always, you know, so strong. And it was kind of like, but it's, you know, I remember saying, but you should know that, because, you know, she's very Scorpio, you know, very Scorpio energy too. It's like, you know, I'm not going to be all right about that, because what I was upset about was never, you know, it was something that was never, you know, it's something that I was going to have to get used to for the rest of my life. And I just had to, you know, accept what was happening. And I was in a bit of shock. Yeah, there was lots of different things going on there, but we'll just move away from that. But the point is, it's like, that's a good example. If even somebody that's your best friend is like, but I didn't even realise it was affecting you this much, because, you know, she wasn't lying. Like, she'd obviously, you would know, but I had like just been, you know, because I didn't want to even really talk about what was upsetting me. And then it just, you know, and then I had to let it all out. And then anyway, but so maybe somebody needs to do that, basically. So and like I said, I've got my people I do with that. I was with one of them today. I'm seeing the other one next week, and I actually think I'll see my other. But that's what I mean. I'm actually going to be seeing like all my best, and I'm not that person. I don't see my best friends all the time. I can go like 3 months in that without seeing folk, but that's how much I'm needing my sisters. So it might feel extremely scary to show your vulnerability in front of someone, but don't you admire people that do this? I do. I don't know if you do, but I do. Don't you think of them as brave and strong? Showing vulnerability is often seen as being weak, but it's actually being extremely strong. You should check in with that, actually. If you look at people that are being very vulnerable as not brave and strong, then there's a distortion going on, I would say. You know what I mean? It's like, because again, some people could see people that are speaking out, it's like, you know, like, oh, who do they think they are in that? You know what I mean? Like, people can be triggered by true confidence and vulnerability, and it's all projections and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So unless there are some people that is like, it's too in their ego and all that kind of stuff, but it's, it's a lot of time, if somebody is just genuinely sharing from a genuine place to help others, and you know what I mean, it's it can take the wrong way if you're still quite wounded. So check in with yourself. Someone opening up to you might make it easier for you to open up to them, and likewise can help someone else release their feelings by revealing yours to them again. And that's, everyone knows it's had a session with me. I've not got any kind of agenda other than to hold the intentions for the person's healing. But it always works out that way, that because I share some of my own stuff, people feel safe to it, and it's, it works. A bond of, but that's risky because, not, it is risky because when I don't know people very well, right, you might feel like you know me, I don't know you. You know what I mean? Not everyone, but some people. But it just works. A bond of trust and empathy can then start to flourish and grow. And then, over time, like I said, I've got people that are, that I'm really close with now because it's been a long time. But my vulnerability is my strength. So exercise. Next time a close friend asks you how you're doing, try and stop for a second and not automatically reply that you're fine if you're not. I'm sorry, I've never been that person. I'm always honest. Unless it's somebody I don't trust, do you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, I'm not fine, but I'm not fucking telling you I'm not fine. We've all had moments of that. So see if you can be a little more authentic in your soul. It's like I've always given the example, but like, during my twin flame separation as well, like over the year when it went weird with him, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'd say near enough everyone knew the deal, even if I wasn't saying it, but like, there's something I wouldn't give anything away. But sometimes that can go not in your favour because then it could get back to him, oh, she totally doesn't give a fuck about you. She never mentions you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because I'm no fucking wanting shite spoken, you know what I mean? Talking stuff I'm not saying. And then that can happen anyway, can't it? But anyway. Start small by admitting it's not the best right now, but you're working on it. If you are, in fact, extremely happy, try and tell them why. Instead of saying, great, explain the feelings you have. Perhaps it's gratitude or love. Right, so, wait a minute, I might, maybe that and that. I'm kind of like, am I just meant to stop at this? No. So, right, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do the wee other things. So I hope this serves somebody, chat away, leave comments. If the comments don't show up right away, don't leave about 10 of the same thing. It's because they're in the filter. I will check if I check the filter, I'll check the filter maybe like once a week or something, and the comment will appear. But just know it won't be responded to until the 11th because I need to switch off completely. Okay, I keep repeating myself, but it's just because you can see, like, there is a part of me feels a little bit, I'm trying not to feel guilty about it, but it feels that I'm going to do it. Damn it, I'm going to do it because, like I said, this is a test. If people do feel really anxious about me not being on call at all, like definitely for a session, but even reply to a comment or an email, then your guides want you to trust them a wee bit more. Call on your guides and your power animals, and you can call out to me telepathically, and I'll be praying for you anyway. But you know what I mean, like you've got this. Like I said in the post, my best friend Jumper said, because it was like a daily reminder, and I was like, oh, what does that bit say? And it said, you've got this. So do you know what I mean? I knew that was like, oh my god, it was so funny. When we were at a walk, there were so many. It was like I was talking, and I kept seeing things. There was loads of things coming through from the spirit world, because that's my mediumship. Is I always see physical things on the ground and written about, and but we both saw, like at one point somebody walked past with a bag, and I think I got a picture of it. I'll put that in the post after I finish whatever I'm filming to say. But the bag said gifted, and we both saw it at the same time. Because yes, I am gifted, and my friend is gifted, but you, my friends watching, Soul Family, you are also gifted. And I'll say it once again, my gift is helping you find yours. But some of you already know what your gift is, and maybe it's time to share it. I don't know where you're at on your path. Some of you are in deep shadow work. Some of you, it's time to share. You will know. But I'm going to love you and leave you. Please like, comment. I will reply in 3 weeks. Feels a bit rude, doesn't it? But sometimes, sometimes I wasn't fight. The thing is, sometimes I wasn't finding it in the filter for a month or 2 months, and it wasn't. It was, it was a fault with YouTube. That wasn't my fault. I was like, and I've worked out how to find it now. But if it's over 60 days, it disappears. So I'm really sorry if anyone left comments that were like over 3 months ago by the time I found that, because I've just realised that it would have disappeared. So please know that, like, that's my, I mean, I'm very big on acknowledging, so, because I've just realised that there is one I saw that was in this, so I need to thing with that tonight. But anyway, yeah, and hype the video. They go out on the Mondays. Don't know what fucking difference that's making to anyone. Hype me, hype the other people you like. Just support people that are out doing this, because it is vulnerable and it is brave, and well done if you do anything like that too. If it's even your calling, not everyone's called it. Anyway, blah blah blah. See you later.